Hi everyone. In today's interview, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. J.S. Ravichandra, whose journey from the realm of law to academia and construction has been unconventional as it is inspiring. Starting with expectations of joining his family's esteemed law practice, Sir made the bold decision to pursue his passion for history, ultimately becoming a lecturer. Now he's part of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of High Learning, a deemed university. He subsequently foray into the building professional saw him completing numerous notable projects across various cities. Throughout his adult life, Sir has grappled with profound questions about humanity's relationship with nature, envisioning a world governed by harmony and gratitude. This vision has not only inspired his professional endeavors but also fueled his creative aspirations, including a long standing desire to craft a cinematic narrative imbued with wisdom and wonder. Join us as we delve into the remarkable journey and creative vision of Mr. Chandra. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, madam, for bringing me here.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you share a brief overview of the core belief and practices that you explore into your book?
It is all about following the culture and practices of our ancestors.
Right.
We should not forget that we are all uh, brought here onto this earth for a purpose, and unless and until we follow what has been laid down from earlier times, whether it is in the our books or the scriptures or wherever, or followed by our ancestors, there is no way we can lead happy and healthy lives, purposeful lives. So basically, we have to follow what our ancestors have laid down, and we have to follow the principles and practices. It is all about interconnectedness. The whole universe is interconnected. There is nothing which is all by itself. All entities give, all entities receive. So, in that process, there is no isolation of any entity, whether it is human beings or other creatures, nature, or anything on earth, all are interconnected. So, we have to behave in such a way that we fulfill our responsibilities so as not to disturb anything which is existing. At the same time, receiving maximum benefit from whatever source we can get. God has made this earth with nature as a provider for humanity. We receive from nature, and we have to respect and revere nature. Only when we respect and revere nature can we continue to enjoy the benefits of nature. Once we disturb nature, which is our major benefactor and provider, we will not be able to live in comfort, happiness, and good health on this earth. It's like an individual is an individual has to function well in a family. When all family members are together and happy, then the society can be happy. When the society is harmonious, there can be nation also will be in a good condition. So to the world. So when an individual is disturbed or he creates a disturbance, there is bound to be disturbance in the family. When the family is disturbed, the neighbors will be upset. So it's a chain reaction, all interconnected. So it's very important that everything starts that's the individual level. At the same time, human beings, God, human being, and nature are also a interconnected chain. One cannot exist without the another because God has made all of us to be equal. He is the resident in all of us and in all creation. This is a belief which is fundamental to the functioning and the the behavior of all people in Sarga. So they treat all people equal. There is no inequality among people, whether it is gender, religion, or whatever. They are all treated as equals, and they help each other in the best way they can. Whenever required, they lend their help selflessly. So it is very important that togetherness, harmony, peace prevail in society, and society and humans function revering nature and receiving the benefits from nature.
So, sir, as in your while you were explaining this, you have mentioned the term sarga, right? And in book also these two terms like sarga and cosmos have been used. So, can you able to explain what is this sarga actually means and cosmos means, and is it really exist?
Sarga is the most wonderful and beautiful place on earth we haven't heard of, been to, or seen. Sarga is the place where all elements are pristine. Nature is ethereal. Skies are azure. Water is pure. Earth is fertile. Sun shines. It doesn't burn. Not too much sun. Rains fall, do not flood. Oceans and rivers provide, they do not submerge. Weather patterns are also the same, uniform. Like it doesn't have, there is no excess rainfall during rainy season. It's sufficient rainfall is there. During summer, the heat is not too much. It's a pleasant summer. Winters are enjoyable. There are no natural calamities, no earthquakes, no flooding, no storms, no cyclones. And you get the best food because it's all grown in fertile soil with the best practices. So you get tasty fruits, wholesome, healthy food. And the people there are radiant, healthy, and happy, ever ready to lend a helping hand. So you may ask, does Sarga really exist? I would say Sarga is everywhere. It is it is the voice within every individual which says follow certain behave patterns, social, conform to social norms, revere nature, and do the right thing always. That is the voice within, that is Sarga. And you find Sarga everywhere, wherever there is happiness, wherever there is beauty, wherever there is a scope for being healthy, that is Sarga. And if you have that within you, if you have that peace, happiness, and the proper mindset within you, you can spread it to others. And when it is spread to others, then all your surroundings will be that. And when you have the mindset, you will work towards creating an environment where you can live like that.
Positivity.
Positivity. And also make sure that the environment, that is the you don't disturb nature. You allow nature to flourish and then provide for you. That is Sarga. And when strong people like that are there, who may have their own religion, beliefs, but that is confined to their place of worship or their homes. When they come into society, they put aside all these, they follow the social norms, revere nature, and that is Sarga. And when nations follow these, when nations are also like this, that is the cosmos. So, one nation living in utmost pure, beautiful conditions, and many nations come together, that is the cosmos.
But sir, don't you think like just to be in our comfort zone, we are somehow harming the environment? So can this sarga and cosmos really can exist? Like, in today's scenario?
Yeah, that's a good question. We should work towards that. Nothing really exists unless we work towards it. We have done the damage.
Yes.
We have damaged the whole environment. It is done by us. It is not like it was like this when the world creation was first made. We have done all the damage. Humans, of human existence have damaged the environment to such an extent that now we are crying out aloud, oh my God, we have to rectify, we have to make the necessary changes so that we can survive in happiness, future, so that the oceans do not flood us, so that the ozone layer doesn't go away and then burn us. So all these problems that we have created.
I think pandemic was also one of the situation where we all were shaken, right? So we government is also taking initiatives for that. But yes, everyone needs to be somehow work together to achieve this.
Pandemic was an eye opener.
Yes.
For many decades, for many generations, past few generations, they haven't seen anything like that. Earlier generations have seen world wars, plagues, and certain situations where major population was
Yes.
affected. But we, the generations after, let's say the 50s, we haven't seen because we have been spared of the world wars and all the earlier epidemics.
Right.
And whatever has happened later was confined to very limited areas,
Absolutely.
very limited geographically or even population wise. But this pandemic, COVID 19, has taken the world over, and everyone on earth has been affected. This is an eye opener. We have to really open our eyes. In fact, in Sarga, I have said when a boy is taken there and it exists as a neighboring country, first he realizes that the people they don't wear masks. That
Right.
means COVID 19 hasn't affected them. So I would say Sarga is not something, a dream. It was the way our ancestors lived when creation was first, when the world was first created,
Yes.
universe was first created. That is how the people started living. They started living in tune with nature, one with nature, and they enjoyed the benefits of nature. So they didn't have to face all the problems which we are facing. We have brought upon all, with all the developments, advancements, and all, and with our, in a way, selfishness and greed, we have created all these problems. So we have to work out how to negotiate our way through this and restore the prime nature of prime situation for nature.
So, sir, in only if we can see the font that is used for OWN is different and LY is different. Yes. And I think this is suggested by you only to us. So, what is the reason keeping this OWN in caps and LY?
I want to stress that only when we live one with nature, O for one, W for with, N for N,
Okay.
nature. So only when we live one with nature can we be happy and healthy. If we do not do that, we can never be happy. I mean, we can be, but there won't be. I mean, it's not like we are not meant to be worried, filled with anxiety. A human being is meant to live happily and healthily on this. That is the way God made this world. But we could not grasp that. We have deviated for our own purposes. So now we are really struggling to find a way through this.
So, sir, can you describe the environment and lifestyle of the cosmos that sets them apart as neighbor unknown to us? That you have already touched a bit.
Yeah, I've touched a bit, but then they have a daily routine like morning they have their prayers, then they spend time in good company, like it's called satsang. So it tunes their mind towards nature, their responsibilities, their duties towards society, the family, and the care they should take with regard to their behavior with nature. So they don't disturb nature. They make good use of nature for their purposes, whether it is for transportation or for cooking or agriculture, construction purposes, whatever they do, transportation. So they make best use of nature without disturbing nature. So Like if there is a flow of water,
Right.
so they go with the flow of water. If there is green, there a lot of trees, they build their homes within that. I mean, you don't have to clear the whole thing. If there are waterways, make use of the waterways by boats or whatever. And if whatever they did, and make use of the solar and wind, so they have made use of all the elements, like the wind
Efficiently.
efficiently and with a lot of commitment, and ensuring that they do not disturb the conditions they have been given.
So, how did you develop the concept of a clean and happy environment for the cosmos, and what principles and practices do they follow to maintain it?
This is a necessity for us, because as I told you that literally we are in dire straits. Everybody is struggling,
Right.
and we do not know. I mean, a lot of money is spent on so-called conservation of wildlife and nature and rainforest and all that. Actually, that is in a way that may be giving employment to some people, but I would tell you that children should be educated. Children should first be educated
Absolutely.
on these lines. First, they should know the worth they have been given. What is it you have been given? What is, where are you born, and what is your world like? It's not like you're just there and you're given a car and a motorbike or whatever, and then you enjoy life. No, you have been given much more than that. Not what your parents give you, what God has given to you. You should know what has God has given to you and make proper use of that. And if you don't do that, then you have all these other problems.
I think somehow this initiative should be taken by the parents,
Yes.
right? So that foundation would be strong.
I would call my book only,
Huh.
this is for the child in every adult and the children in every home.
Right.
In fact, I plan to bring out a book with only pictures and very less matter for the children in every home.
Yes.
This book deals with not just, I was speaking about conservation earlier. Conservation, let's say I go and do some conservation effort. Let's say 10 people go and do conservation effort. If people are not brought up well,
Right.
1,000 people will undo that effort. If I say over 10 elephants, 1,000 people will come and kill 1,000 elephants. So there is no way you can do any conservation, because as the number of people, as many as number of people, 10 times are there to undo that work.
Absolutely.
So you have to prepare the human mind to function properly. That starts from childhood. And children have to know, yes, this world is so beautiful. I have been given this world. So if a child is given, let's say, a school bag or whatever, he takes good care of it, because that is given by the parents, and he feels that belongs to him. Or he's given a toy, he is plays with it and then so joyfully, and is very possessive. Similar feeling should be there, not only for what you have been given, but what is given everywhere for all of us. So we should have the same sort of position. Let's say I have a phone with me. I am going to take great care of it. I am going to put a password, make sure that nobody really tampers with it or sees into it or not. Similarly, I should have the same attitude with what has been given in the world for enjoyment of all of us. That's not my business. That is bad. It's everybody's business. Everybody has to be involved in the process, and that comes only if the children. If training starts with children.
I think it can be introduced in schools also in education. If we introduce some subject like that in education system, so it can be helpful.
Yes, it should be made very attractive to children. It should not be like they should not be taught. Okay, you don't do this, don't do that. No, that's not the way. They should be taught how they are the beneficial. I mean, it should be attractive, like in pictures and less words and very minor descriptions, but so that they understand. It has to start with children, at in the schools and also at home.
So, are there any particular phrase or poem from your book that you believe resonates strongly with readers and convey the essence of the cosmos way of life?
Yes, like in the first initial pages, I have mentioned that what nature was like to many people all along. What was nature like? Now we have the earth, you get earthquakes,
Yes.
the soil is unfertile. It has been made unfertile because of overuse of pesticides and removing the topsoil and digging and plowing and whatever misuse. Similarly, the sun. So sun also, yeah, it rises and sets, but then you're having a lot of problems because of the high temperatures, the ozone layer, the oceans. They are supposed to support us, but they now you are worried about flooding, the oceans taking over the lands and the wind. So that poem where I mentioned is, let the earth support and nourish. Let the earth support and nourish. That is important. Stops with that because in its pristine state, that was what the earth was doing. We have made the change. Let the sun give life and we flourish. Yes, not burn us. Let the oceans not breach their limit. So oceans are there. 2/3 of the land, earth is ocean, and they have enough space actually. But we have again done the damage, and they are now worried about that submerging and all that, tsunamis and all such things. Let the wind raise life to the summit. Wind gives life to us. Oceans give life. Wind also gives life because it is like it transports seeds and such things, and then does so much good. But then the wind can also damage. So let it not happen. Let only it give life. Let the Akash give succor. Let the Akash, the skies, let it not finish us because from the ozone layer going and then creating that ultraviolet excess and so many health problems. Let the rains pour water, pure water pour. Let the rains, see, now we have acid rains are there, we have polluted the skies, and then we don't get pure water.
Right.
We want the pure water. We can just open our mouth and drink it directly. So that's the condition which was there earlier. We should have that. Let the lakes and rivers be the drinking place. We should be able to just go and put our mouth in the lake or river and drink. Now we are worried. It's so polluted. Let the forest give our soul solace. Let's not forest be burned down.
Right.
We should have solace there. Let all the elements power and energize all humanity. Elements have the power to have the capacity to power all our needs. So let that be the way. Let humanity live so as to deserve the bounty. Actually, God has given all this, but we have introduced all the other things which have damaged the things, and we are suffering. We are only suffering. And again, we are praying, oh my God, we don't want this, we want the beautiful conditions. How it won't come automatically. We have to work towards that. And whole of humanity. See, if a young boy has to start a career, he has to struggle for himself and maybe support from parents or teachers. But here, the whole of humanity can work together.
Also, sir, it is important for our upcoming generations. They should also, able to see all the things that like we have seen in our generation. Our
Yes.
generation have seen. So they should also experience
And
this
that is the legacy we can pass
legacy.
on
Yes, yes, yes.
to future generations.
So, were there any surprising discovery or insight that you encountered during your research and or
Yes, yes,
interactions?
because I can't give too many examples now, but in Chernobyl, when the nuclear disaster happened, everything was burned down, radiation, and no human habitation could be possible.
Right.
Now you have green everywhere, green plants bloom. I mean, it's flourishing now with nature. Similarly, in so many places, innumerable places, which I mentioned in my book, you have nature. The Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island in India,
Mhm.
abandoned fishing village in China, and so many such instances where nature is blooming. I mean,
Right.
you have greenery everywhere. Nobody has touched. People have stopped going there because of the damage it can do to human existence. And when you look back after some time, it's all green. So you don't have to go and make anything. Just leave nature alone. It'll do.
Right.
That's what humans should be taught. You don't have to spend millions trying to do this and that, and you have to spend on yourself to change your mind. Spend time with yourself, with your children. Think about your existence, your relationship with nature and society. Then everything will be fine.
So, sir, how did the publisher support you in bringing your vision for the book to fruit?
Yeah, publishers have been very supportive, and they have introduced many formats where I could interact with them, and they have made it very easy for me to communicate by email and such online, where any changes required or any suggestions from them could be conveyed. Any changes I wanted could be passed on very easily. So it was a very convenient process. Not at all difficult to handle. I'm thankful to them for that.
Thank you, sir. So, finally, what message or takeaway do you hope readers will carry with them after reading your book?
Messages are that it is possible to change our world. It's possible only when we change ourselves. We have to change. It's not nature doing the damage. Nature has not done the damage. We have done the damage. So who should change now? We don't want to go and say, yeah, oh my God, these trees have been cut down, I'll plant. That's not the thing. You have to make sure that majority or all the population has a mindset where they realize that nature exists for them.
Right. Absolutely.
It exists for them, not for itself. Nature doesn't exist for itself. A tree bears fruits. It doesn't eat. A tree gives shade. It is in the burning sun, but it gives shade to us.
Right.
Water flows, but it can be used for our transportation and drinking or whatever, fishing also. So nature exists for us. It does not exist for itself. We should realize that first. If we realize that and then learn how to make use of nature beneficially, all elements of nature,
Right.
then the earth will be a better place. And this is going to be a long and arduous process. We spend a lot of time, a child first, if he has to learn to walk, he takes a few months. To talk, walk, understand. It doesn't happen in a day. It takes months, years for a child to grow up and then do something on his own for others. So when we are dealing with such a vast subject as nature, surely it requires enormous efforts of all. It won't happen so easily. But when we do it and when the change comes about, it's going to be a mind-boggling benefit for all of humanity.
Yes.
And we'll be done with many of the problems we have. We won't have the problems relating to health. We won't be having problems relating to agricultural production. We won't be having problems regarding to weather changes. So many things will be solved. Now we are struggling with everything. Individuals are struggling. So families are struggling. Nations are, governments are struggling. Spending so much money. Why don't you just go educate the child? You should educate the child. We should be taught. Everybody should be taught how to interact with one another. Unless that is done, all this expenditure will just be like, it will be increasing and would not lead to any concrete results.
We should not wait for someone to take action. We should start doing ourselves.
Yes.
We should have to take the initiative ourselves.
Yes.
So, thank you. It was a great session,
Thank you, ma'am.
and thank you for sharing the valuable insights with us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.